of Local Government Division, Honorable Special Guest, His Excellency Mr. Charles Whitley, Ambassador of and Head of Delegation of European Union. Another special guest, Mr. Stephen Lila, Resident Representative by UNDP, Bangladesh. Other guests in the dais and distinguished in audience, dear journalists and chairman and public representative have assembled here, came from the several parts of Bangladesh. Dear journalists, I express my heartiest thanks for organizing this occasion. Bangladesh is the dream country of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. In the year 1971, we achieved our independence. And after the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, he was in jail of Pakistan and he repatriated in Bangladesh. And with the hope that he will promote the country in the level of the developed country. In his own language, he was telling that it is Sonar Bangla. He made it Sonar Bangla. So journey have been started by father of the nation. But misfortunately, he was assassinated in the year 1975 when he was started reconstruction of Bangladesh, which have been extracted in the 9-month war. So later on, after assassination of father of the nation, the country was ruled 21 years by the military ruler. And I think the audience is much more clear, including the dais, all the foreign and local. That is, people fought for independence only because of injustice. They were suffering seriously. There was a huge food crisis, and no food was supplied, and communication system was not adequate, and healthcare was not there, and literacy was much more lower. In all respects, the country was suffering very seriously. So, after 1975, 21 years ruled by the military, and then later, our present Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, she fought a lot. And after that, in the year 1996, we came in the power first time. And second time in 2009. For making the short of time, I'm not quoting anything else. You see, this time, for the dais and for the audience, I want to draw your attention. Our present Prime Minister, after coming in the power first time, she fixed the goal of the country to lift the country in the level of the developed country. And roadmap have been sketched, and this roadmap, according to the roadmap, we have to scale up the country in the level of development in 2041. But this was the goal, and roadmap have been prepared, and accordingly many things has to be done. Millions of issues have been to mobilize, which was quite absent. One or two things I want to point out here. You see, when British was repatriating from Bangladesh, this time, some area of India and this of Pakistan, of East Pakistan, was retained unsettled, and this land belongs to Pakistan or belongs to India. It was not decided. So then in the year 1947, since from the 1947, the people, those who are living in those particular area, that is Angkota, Dogram and many other areas, the peoples of those areas, they are considering as a no man's land people. So they did not get any opportunity of the state of either about the healthcare, about the education, about their marriage. They could not sell the land. through the registration. So there were huge issues were there. After independence 1971, Father of the Nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman had taken initiative to solve this problem. So a treaty between then Indian Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi and Father of the Nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, a treaty was made, and accordingly, but misfortunately he was killed, and this treaty could not be implemented, and later the suffering was continuing. And after coming our present Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, this problem has been solved, and 17,000 acres area we received from India, and we have to give them 700 acre land. This is not the issue. Issue is that the huge people who was living there, they were suffering miserably. They are not considering as a modern human. But now the problem is over under the leadership of Sheikh Hasina. And you see the maritime boundary. It was also another dispute with Myanmar and India. This was unsettled one. But under the leadership of our present Prime Minister, this maritime area have been fixed, so that now actually we want to claim this country is a sovereign country, because all that territory have been determined. So all these things was done under the leadership of present Prime Minister. We were suffering huge in all respects, whatever I tell. We did not have any hope. And world community was loved to say, this country do not have any hope. And some leader of the global leader, once he was visiting the World Bank, and his comment was that, better drop the money to the sea rather than to give Bangladesh, because this money do not have hope and it will not create anything else, it will never be back. But within this 15 years, time, we able to, electricity connectivity was about 20%. And food deficiency was huge. Now no food deficiency, and electricity connectivity is whole over Bangladesh have been covered. And it was a lawlessness in the country. No girl could be courageous to go to the street of Dhaka after sunset. And there is a lot of killing, murder, and many things else was that it is the history of the country. But now, under the present Prime Minister leadership, this kind of thing is actually history. So, huge achievement is at this moment. Now we are dreaming. A dream was given, a dream was actually fixed by our present Prime Minister. I am not mentioning the metro rail, I am not mentioning the Podda bridge, I am not the Podda rail and the tunnel Chattogram and many other development. In rural area, we able to construct a huge road under my ministry with a sustainable quality. And education, every village is covered by at least one primary school. So girls have been empowered, women empowerment. Now that is, I think it is exemplary for the global context to see that within the soonest time, in our judiciary higher level, there is no scope to be penetrated by the women judge. And in secretariat, no secretary could be promoted once he is a woman. And no DC, Deputy Commissioner, Deputy Controller, and SP, Superintendent of Police, and UND, and OC. It was beyond of thinking the woman could be placed there and could be promoted. But now it more or anywhere else, the women have placed and they are successfully handling their responsibility. So women empowerment and women education, So cross-sectionally, an integrated program have been taken under this Prime Minister. And now there is no food deficiency. Everybody have a food and nutrition in the village area. It was rare to get a fruit shop in the city area somewhere else. In my early life, I have seen one or two shop were existing within time in the one city area. So now, in every village, there is an air conditioning machine is selling, fridge is selling, people are buying. And meat, fish, vegetables, and everything are producing for our indigenous source. So in such a situation, why I am explaining all these things? Actually, the government ambition, goal, target is to fulfill the aspiration of the common people. It was the dream of our independence. It was the dream of our father of the nation. And we suffered a lot. Mismanagement, misrule, and lawlessness, injustice. But justice is one of the fundamental. Like education, like communication, like all other logistic support. Because once justice could not be ensured in the society. So I myself, or yourself, or whoever he is, will psychologically, cognitively suffer. Once my cognitive do not support me properly, so I will not be productive. Our present Prime Minister leadership, we believe every individual have some potentiality. We have to give effort for all the peoples with the aim no one leaving behind, so that he can contribute for the nation. Our GDP was $47 billion 2009 when we started journey. In 2096 it was $17 billion. Now our GDP is about the $500 billion. So how could all this achievement have been done? Just only because of the leadership was correct, and law, justice, social harmony, involvement of all peoples was correctly done through some real procedure. Our oath is what? What is oath is to fulfill the aspiration of the common people and the dream of the father of the nation, philosophy of him we are following. So in such a situation, Village Code, I express my heartiest thanks to European Union and UNDP. Since beginning 2009, they were with us. As I think we everybody convinced Bangladesh is a highly densely country. Territory is not much, but population size is so big, 170 million people we are living in this small area. Definitely we have a lot of drawback and weakness just because we are fighting to come out from the poverty. Our poverty level, I have mentioned, it was 42% when we started the journey. Now it is 18%. Severe poverty was 25%. Now it is close to 5%. Despite it, all these things could be done. With our existing law and the infrastructure of the governance system, that we have to scale up in this level. But one thing is that this demand of the Village Code, and it is our Honorable Prime Minister is the mastermind. Since I think ancient time, local arbitration was exist in this country, and I think in many countries. So whenever any dispute within the villagers, neighbors, and within the family and out of the family, if anything happened, so it could be mitigated through the local arbitration. But now it is our Prime Minister thought once we have a one legislative approach, once we have a legislation about this one, so within time a program have been taken, and immediately European Union and UNDP have extended their hand to cooperate. Then the pilot project has been started in the name of the first phase, and second phase have been done. Now we are in a proud position to say third phase covering whole over Bangladesh other than few hill district, then we are going to start. And the act already been it is under process. I think in this session of the parliament it will be we'll bring it in the parliament. I think resolution will be adopted in the parliament. So I think the legitimative strength will be given to it, and so that with the aim that once we can mitigate the problem. You see, as I told, we are a very densely country, but all court is definitely under pressure. Huge litigational issue is there. It is very hard to them for the court to solve. So all small issues, whatever rise in the society, if it once it could be solved through in the particular area under the leadership of the public representative with the collaboration, assistance, guidance of the our ENO, Deputy Secretary, and DDLG, Deputy Director of Local Government. So anyway, and the judiciary and all the organ. Actually, in end of the day, this is my country. I am a politician, I am a minister, you are secretary, and he is a deputy secretary, or you are a union chairman. Ultimately, I am the citizen of this country. Definitely, knowingly or unknowingly, I must have to love my country. And I do not have the other option. It is not for us only, it is for all the country's people. They have to love their country. Ultimately, in the long run, once we think, then actually we love the humanity. So what is the humanity? If I do not have the food, I do not have justice, I do not have anything else. Nowadays we stand, we get the chance to stand in a good platform. So we have to retain it. And nowadays, before we do not have anything else, nobody come forward. We have a lot of bitter experiences. We have a lot of bitter experiences about many issues. I do not like to go many issues to explain. We have seen the vote in Bangladesh. We have seen the torture, and at the time of the election, a motorcycle with one pistol, two pistol, and appeared there, and declared somebody else have been elected. We have passed 21 years minimum. These kinds of a scenario we have seen, we have experienced. So now we have an urge. We are very committed to scale up the country and run the country with the philosophy of right democracy. And democracy is, we are convinced, once we want to sustainable development. Whatever achievement is there, whatever success is there, it has to be, once we have to retain it. And if even we want to go ahead, then democracy is required. And government is very optimistic. And the party of Bangladesh Awami League, its leadership, this country, have achieved the independence. And all the success of this time, all the success, if you go to chronologically, and you see nothing else been done by anybody else. Nothing has been done. All the success, good thing, and fulfillment of the people's demand. Now I love to feel proud that every house is covered, every boys, girls is covered with the internet connectivity. This is the blessing of because of the leadership of Sheikh Hasina. I think the audience, you are the native, there is no scope to give any difference of opinion about anything else. So we have to retain all these things. Nowadays, many people could say anything else. But when we are suffering miserably, nobody extended their hand. We beg the money, we beg the food, we beg for the survival, but we did not get any assistance. Now, when we fought and rise in one prestigious platform, so many things, manywhere else, we are hearing, and many articles every day writing, and many news, many controversiality, many failure. Of course, we do not claim that the government do not have any failure. We do not have the weakness, but we are optimistic to solve all this. But in the plea of the solving the problem or the plea of this kinds of a few numbers of the issues, we cannot destroy our whole future. I think all these things we have to realize, and this blaze code we have to successfully implement it. All the public representative, you have taken the oath. So there is some sort of drawback here. Some sort of we have, you see earlier whatever the act was there, now we have updated it. Our PD Joint Secretary Mr. Nurul Alam, he have given the explanation. Whatever the question you have raised and about other issues, we have taken note and we will discuss and consult within ourselves and how could about the honorarium and many other issue, how could we can extend the cooperation and solve these problems and to make this all entity very performing and active. So in conclusion, I express my again heartiest thanks to the audience, all the chairmen. So, all the chairmen and the officials of cross-sectional portfolio you have gathered here, and special thanks to my good friend, Mr. Whiteley, Mr. Charles Whiteley. Yeah. Because I think you did not forget, we have discussed a lot of things. While once we met, you came in my office. And also Mr. Stephen Leader. Yeah, thank you very much for joining and give a passion and seated for a long time and hear the audience and also myself. And European countries and most of is the good friend of Bangladesh since the father of the nation when he have taken the charge of the country. So I express hearty thanks to all of you. I hope that this platform and this occasion give you a lot of inspiration to implement successfully this village code. I have been requested to say something else Bangla. I don't know what I will say. Anyway, সবাইকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ আমরা আমাদের ভিলেজ কোড আইন এটা পার্লামেন্টে নিয়ে যাওয়া হয়েছে এবং আমরা ইতিমধ্যে এটা আশা করি ইনশাআল্লাহ এই সেশনের মধ্যে পাস করার চেষ্টা করব আর এর মাধ্যম দিয়ে এটা পূর্ণদমে কাজ আরম্ভ হবে আমি আমার বক্তব্য শেষ করার আগে এই অনুষ্ঠানের ভিলেজ অ্যাক্টিভেটিং ভিলেজ কোড অনুষ্ঠানে আমি শুভ উদ্বোধন ঘোষণা করছি
Thank you.